Welcome to T Boys TV. We're back again with another T Boy Discusses. I hope everyone is well. And obviously, in this one, we will be talking about rumours that have been flying around. A lot of teams, as you can see, have been interested with this player, and that is obviously John Mcatee. And yeah, we'll obviously get into that. So I'm going to first of all read what this section says here, and then obviously I'll get into my thoughts. So it says League One side Wrexham have reportedly joined the race for Luton Town attacker John Mcatee, with a number of Football League clubs now rumoured to be interested in signing the forward. The 24-year-old headed to Kenilworth Road back in the summer of 2022 and has played a part in the club's pre-season programme for the second year running, heading out to Slovenia where he featured in both friendly matches. However, he is yet to figure in a first-team game for Luton in his almost 2 years in Bedfordshire. And following a productive loan spell at League One Barnsley last term when he scored 15 goals in 45 matches, Mcatee's stock is currently high. It also says it means Luton face a decision on the future of the former Grimsby, Solihull Moors and Scunthorpe front man, who faces a battle on his hands to leapfrog players such as Colton Morris, Elijah and Woodrow into the Hatters starting lineup. With Jacob Brown on the mend from his knee injury and Joe Taylor almost back in the reckoning after his impressive loan stint with both Colchester and Lincoln. Just going on that a bit, I wouldn't really put Woodrow in the starting lineup. I know what they're saying, out of all the attackers. And people are forgetting about Brown, to be fair, because of his injury. He's sort of gone off the radar and, obviously he was decent at Stoke. Also said League One side Bolton Wanderers were rumoured to be looking at him, whose brother is Manchester City midfielder James. While it is being reported that fellow third-tier outfit Wrexham are now in the race, which is also believed to include the Championship, Plymouth Argyle, Blackburn Rovers, Millwall, Derby and Portsmouth, as Town might have to look to offload the attacker permanently during the transfer window rather than the risk of losing him for free next summer. This is also what Rob Edwards said earlier in the year about Mcatee when he got his Barnsley's Goal of the Month award for December, which was obviously a 35-yard drive against Port Vale. So yeah, and this is what Rob Edwards said. He's really capable of that Macca. He's another player that we've really got high hopes for at this football club. So obviously hearing that, you've seen that he's been a regular in the pre-season games like I mentioned there, featured in both of them. Me personally, I want to keep him, whether that's, you maybe loan him out again or, you actually have him in and around the squad. I thought he was very, very good, especially in the pre-season game the other day, when him, Nelson and Taylor come on, they all made a massive difference and they're all players I want to keep. I believe we definitely will keep Nelson in the round because we did that in the Premier League. Taylor, he is the one that I want behind, the likes of, Morris and Elijah, if I'm being honest. I don't think Woodrow's that guy anymore. So, yeah, I want to keep hold of him, however that is in the sense of, not actually fully getting rid of him. Again, you can maybe look at it, Wrexham are that type of side now who do have a bit of money, due to their owners and that type of thing. So, again, it's like a lot of, where a lot of players potentially going where Rob Edwards said, if, we don't have to sell. So to me, like I said on, the watch along I did the other day, that's telling me if we sell players, it has to be for a decent offer. Obviously some people are getting a bit worried about Mengi potentially on the way out because he hasn't, been in the games in Slovenia, but obviously he was in the one at the training ground before we went out to Slovenia. And again, you look at that, you look at the last offer that come in for that. It was obviously Nice that we, actually saw reportedly, and even then that wasn't a great offer. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I hope he hasn't got Mengi because I think he will be probably the main defender if he stays, to be quite honest with you. That'll be a regular starter. But we shall see. But yeah, Mcatee, like I said, I want to keep hold of him, man. I don't want to get rid of him at least. I'd rather loan him out again, to be honest. But again, seeing how he was in that pre-season game the other day, I'd like to keep him really in and around the squad. Maybe that means we have a lot of, attacking players on the bench next season. Obviously Brown when he's back. Taylor, hopefully as well. We don't loan him out. I want to actually keep him in for sure. Nelson, obviously you have Elijah and Morris. You might have a lot, so they might look at it and maybe loan him out again, but or maybe get rid of him if a decent offer comes in. But he just hasn't, like I mentioned in the article as well, he hasn't had that chance yet, has he? In an actual competitive game for Luton. So I want to see him get that chance at some point. Like I'm the same with Jack Walton. We keep loaning him out. So that's why I think it might be similar as well. Because again, it's similar for him, for me, where I want to see him get that chance. Obviously, not start because Kaminsky's quality, we know that. But in the sense of, having to go in the cup games and stuff like that, I want to see Mcatee have a part to play in this squad next season because I think he's got a point to prove, to be quite honest with you. And he done decent on loan last season. Obviously, you look at his brother's at Man City. Do you know what I mean? You want to be competing with him, trying to be part of Luton going back up and then, potentially maybe going up against him, at some point potentially, in the near future, that friendly, family competition, you could say. So, yeah, man, let me know what you guys think of this news. Obviously, Mcatee being rumoured and looked at by several clubs. And yeah, man, obviously a bit of a other bit if anyone's interested. Obviously, the fantasy EFL come out today, about time. Obviously, I made a team, and it was always interesting going into it. Would you be able to pick a player from every league and make it into one? So obviously, it's come out. This is my team right here, as you can see. So Kaminsky in goal. So the way it works is you pick two teams basically, and I think them two teams, if they do well when you have players from that team, they get you extra points or something. You can only have 7 players. So yeah, that is my team. So obviously Kaminsky in goal. I think he won't have to do as much as last year, but when he'll be called upon, I still believe he'll be very good. Tanganga, obviously they're permanently signed him. We were in the race for him, for us and Millwall, but obviously we ended up getting him. They ended up getting him, and obviously they're playing them guys first game of the season. So hopefully he has a good start to his permanent time at Millwall. Firpo again, Leeds are, as much as they got to sell players, I think they should really still be up there. When it comes to at least in the top 6. Obviously, I've got Portsmouth opening day at home, so you would say they'll probably win that. And then obviously, like I say, you can pick players from other leagues. So obviously League 2 or League 1. And obviously I've gone with Luke Berry. I think he's going to do very, very well. And as you can see there, I've put him as my vice captain. Obviously they got Wigan on the opening day of the season. Not an easy game, but I think Charlton will be up there, man. They're signing really good players. I'm not even just saying that because it's Luton's B team, essentially. I just think for that level, and that their fans seem to be on board with Nathan Jones, and that's the thing. I've always said that since he left. If the fans get on board, he'll do all right. Southampton, they were on his back straight away, and even then, you look, he actually, all right, not in the league, he done great, but in the League Cup, he done phenomenal, mate. I remember when they beat Man City, outplayed Man City. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I remember doing a watch along. So I think they'll do very well next year. Obviously, Potts was part of the try list the other day, so he's probably going to go there as well, which I had a slight feeling. Bakuna for Birmingham, very good player. If I'm being honest, I'm surprised he's still there. Obviously, it might change by the time we get into the new season, but again, you'd expect them to be up there in League One, really, if we're being honest. But yeah, I rate him, man. Every time he come up against us, I thought he was quality, to be honest. And then obviously up front, they've gone with 2 players in the Championship. Whittaker, again, another player I rate highly. It seems like Rooney wants to keep hold of him. I know it's been rumoured with the likes of Brentford and a few other teams. I remember once it was rumoured with Luton. I'll take him, mate. He's a top player. But it looks like they'll probably keep him maybe for another season. So I've gone with him. Obviously, I can change it before the first game. If any of these players obviously leave their clubs, a lot of them have just signed, like Berry, Tanganga, stuff like that. So that won't happen. And then obviously Morris up front, captain. I think he could even get top goal scorer for me in the Championship because I think of it, he got top scorer for us in the Championship last time. And then he got 11 goals last season, debut season in the Premier League. That's decent. And then, yeah, I don't see no reason why he can't at least be up there again for, the Championship top goal scorers. And I put him as my captain for the opening game. against Burnley at home. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, let me know if you're doing fantasy EFL, guys. But yeah, big up to everyone that has tuned in to this T-Boy Discusses. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything I've discussed. The Mcatee situation. Do you think he does leave Luton, or do you think he does stay? And if you do think he stays, do you think he goes out on loan or actually stays for this season? I mean, I hope he stays for this season, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't be annoyed if he went out alone because we do have a lot of attacking options. And we will do on the bench and stuff like that as it stands. Especially if we do keep Woodrow, which I don't think we should. I think we need to move on. Look at the game the other day as well. The difference the youngsters made. The three that I mentioned earlier when they come on and he's not doing much starting games. Back to back. He's missed penalties against pre-season teams as well. Like, no disrespect, Hitchin. Like, come on now. And some Ukrainian side I've not heard of. And he's meant to be the best finisher at the club. That's what makes it even worse. And yeah, he can do all this stuff in training, but when it matters, he's not doing it. And people might go, yeah, but it's only pre-season. But at the same time, pre-season, you've got to show what you're about and show why you, especially when you look at Luton with how many attacking players we've got, you've got to try and impress and, show why you should be in and around the team. But I think it's time to move on personally. And I know a lot of people that do watch my stuff are the same on that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. And like I say, are you doing the fantasy EFL? Do let me know that as well. And yeah, man, big up to everyone that tuned in. Don't forget to smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Do subscribe. Follow me across all my socials. And yeah, man, until next time, I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care and peace.